Hey everybody, Alonzo here with Gulf Coast Smoke. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be cooking T-bones and lobster tails all on my brand new Traeger Ironwood 650. So tomorrow is Father's Day and I decided I needed to show you guys how to cook an epic meal for your father, for your boyfriend, for your husband, whoever it might be, that father in your life that deserves a nice meal. We're going to show you exactly how we're going to do it today. And we have a new grill to test out, so it's going to be a great test. So what I plan on doing is smoking these at 225 with that super smoke feature until they reach about 110 internal, cranking it all the way up, searing these steaks off, and also making these lobsters. It's going to be a simple cook, but we're going to put this new equipment to the test. I am not affiliated with Traeger at all, so I'm going to give you my honest opinions on how I like this grill. I currently own a Rectech RT340, and I like it, but it's way too small. It's hard to get my hands into the back of that grill without burning myself, and I really don't prefer to smoke on it at all. So we're going to test this out today, see how it does, and we'll go from there. This is going to be a super simple process on setting this meat up for the cook. So come on in real close. I want to show you what we're working with. All right, so we have two monster T-bones today. So if you don't know what a T-bone is, it's primarily a New York strip with a bone that looks like a T in it. And on the other side, you get a little piece of the fillet. Now, usually, if you have a large piece of the fillet or the full piece, that's called a porterhouse. And I'm not going to lie to you. These are T-bones. That's what I purchased. But they look closer to porterhouses to me, because you do see a pretty big amount of the fillet there. And these look really good. You can see they're not prime or anything, but they do have some good marbling running through, so I know these are going to taste really good. We also have some lobster tails here today that I just picked up from my local H-E-B. Not the biggest things in the world, but I think they're going to taste really good, and I'm excited to make them on the Traeger. I have a few other things, just like some lemons and some nice butter that we're going to baste on everything in the end. We are going to season these up with Chupacabra steak seasoning, a really, really good rub. You can actually purchase this at gulfcoastsmoke.com if you're interested. But real fast, the only crazy thing that we have to do today is split these lobster tails, and I'll show you how to do that real fast. So you don't want to actually go into the tail here, the part that fins out, but you want to get close, get a sharp knife, be very careful, get the point in, come all the way through, use a little bit of force, boom. So what that allows you to do now is open it up, and that's exactly how we can grill it in the end. These cook pretty fast, so we're actually just gonna sear these off in the end when we're searing off the steaks after the reverse sear. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and get this second one done, and then we're gonna season up these steaks, go outside, get the Traeger ready, and start cooking. Alright, so these are big steaks, so you always want to make sure that you're getting it liberally. Make sure to get the sides, and make sure to get both sides pretty good. Like I said, this steak can handle it. This is a big piece of meat. Let's go ahead and season it right up. Then, like I said a second ago, we're going to head right out to the Traeger.
It's really getting too much, but I can't pull back. Though I try to resist, I can't fight this.
Alright, so we're outside now. We're about to fire this Traeger up, but I have a few things that I do want to talk to you about before we do that. So number one, Father's Day is tomorrow. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I want to show you two things real quick though. So number one, check out the kicks. The Air Monarchs, the all whites with the navy. You absolutely love to see it. These are iconic in the barbecue and dad world. So again, if you don't have a pair of these, you got to get some. And the second thing I want to show you is our yard. So if you've seen our videos in the past, you know that our yard was pretty much dirt. Our dog actually tore it up for a while there and actually went and dug holes everywhere. It was kind of crazy. It looked terrible, but we fixed the yard up. We've been watering it every single day, so we're hoping to get it looking really, really nice. So I'm proud of those two things. Super dad moments for me. So I figured in light of the holiday tomorrow, we'll go ahead and celebrate the two cool things that I got. Shout out to my brother-in-law Mark for getting me the shoes, and shout out to my wife for helping me out with the yard. It's been great. But now onto this Traeger. So I got a brand new Traeger Ironwood 650 here. You can tell that I've only done a couple of cooks in here. I did some chicken the other day to test on it, but it's got a lot more cooking space than my RT340 by RecTech, so I really like it so far. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. Give it a second. Put it to 225, and we're gonna ignite it, and we're gonna let it do its thing. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and let this get lit up to 225. We are also gonna turn on that super smoke mode, and that is a feature that I was really excited to get with this, just to see how it is. Like I told you guys earlier, not affiliated with Traeger at all. Everything that I say about this grill comes from my opinions and my opinions only. So hopefully I really like it moving forward. We can stick with Traeger or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna let this get primed up. Then we're gonna throw on that super smoke mode, and we're gonna let these steaks hit smoke until they reach 110 internal. So for now, just gonna hang out outside with the kids, go inside for a little bit, and we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes. The Traeger is up to temp, so we're gonna go ahead and throw these steaks on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, just looking at how thick they are, I think 225 is a little too low, so I'm gonna bump it up to 275 here in a second, and we're gonna smoke at that temperature just so this doesn't take too long. We do want it to get some smoke flavor, but it's a steak. It doesn't need to be too crazy. So real quick, a few things I wanna talk about on this Traeger so far. I love the build. So I love that it comes with a side shelf standard, and I also love how it feels. It feels really heavy duty, and I love that. Another thing I like is that the drip bucket is right here under the shelf, and this shelf actually stops the cover from snagging on this and tipping it over. So one of the things that I did not like about my RecTech is that the drip pan was on the right side and the cover would rip it off all the time. So if I forgot to empty it out one time, I almost for sure was always gonna spill grease everywhere. Now yes, that is my fault, I forgot to empty it out, but sometimes it happens just inadvertently, and that was one thing that I did not like about it at all whatsoever. But I just noticed that the super smoke mode does not work at 275. I know that I said we're going to go to 275, but I lied because I want to test out that super smoke, so we'll keep it at 225. Let's go ahead and throw these right on. All right, so now we'll just wait until these are 210 internal, and then we'll go from there. We'll sear them off, and we'll make those lobsters as well. We're gonna grill some lemons, get them a little bit sweet, put them all over the lobster, put some of that great butter that I was talking about, and then it'll be time to eat. This is a simple cook, but I promise you it packs a huge punch. You're gonna love the flavor from this cook. So don't be afraid to try this out for that father in your life. I promise you they'll love it. All right, so about 45 minutes later, let's go ahead and check on these steaks, see if they're at about 110 internal. If they are, we'll crank this thing up to 500, get ready to sear them off. Ready? Yeah, right there. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get it off. Let these rest for just a quick second while we crank it up. All right, so let's go back inside real quick. I'm gonna get these lobster tails ready. We're gonna slice open those lemons like I said earlier, and then hopefully this is up to temp pretty quick and we can sear everything off. All right, so one thing I will say about this, I haven't cranked it up this high, but that only took about 3 minutes, which was really fast, and I love that. So we'll see if it's always that fast, but I'm very impressed with how fast it got up to 500 degrees. So now we're gonna go ahead and sear off those steaks. We're gonna go ahead and cook those tails. So come on in, it's time to finish up this dinner. Nice sizzle. Make sure it gets good contact. So we're gonna put these lemons on. When you grill them like this, it actually gets out a nice sweet flavor. So we'll do that. Then we'll get these nice lobster tails on. And we'll go ahead and check everything in about 2 minutes. See if those steaks are ready to flip. See if those lobsters are ready to flip. As soon as we flip those lobsters, we're gonna start hitting them with that nice butter. That's where we're gonna get a great flavor from. So just a few minutes and we'll be right back to finish this up. All right, so after about 2 minutes, let's go ahead and flip these lobster tails over. Oh yeah, look at that nice color on them. That side looks like it didn't get as charred, unfortunately. We could put that back down, but let's look at this steak. Oh yeah, it looks actually really great. Make sure it gets good contact with the surface. Yeah, those actually look really nice. Nice sear. So I'd like to see a little more char on that. So let's go ahead and place it back down. See what these lemons look like. Those can go a little longer too. So just about done. What we're gonna do now, we'll throw some of this nice butter, which has garlic, parsley, thyme, basil, rosemary, salt, pepper, a lot of nice stuff in it. And we'll throw it right on top of the steak. Let that melt in while it cooks. And so those lobster tails definitely did not get the sear I wanted, but I think it's because there wasn't much surface contact on the grate, and that's okay. I've told you guys before, barbecue's all about making adjustments, learning as you go. So hey, I'm just gonna keep them on the grate a little bit longer. We'll make sure we don't overcook them. We'll still hit them with that butter. They're still gonna taste great. Always adjust, always make sure you're doing what you want with the barbecue. Don't settle, don't say, oh, it's okay, let me flip it over, whatever. Just throw it back on for a couple more seconds, it'll be okay. We're gonna temp these steaks out here in a second, and we can pull them off while the rest of it finishes. So we're almost there. We're gonna taste this, and that's the best part of the day. All right, 2 more minutes. Let's go ahead and check on these lobster tails. I have a feeling that they're gonna be good now. I made sure there was some surface contact on those grates. Let's check it out together. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Those look really good. So now, let's go ahead and get a little bit of butter. Tell you what, this Traeger gets hot. People say you can't sear on a pellet grill, but these are damn hot. This is really hot, and I like the way it's going so far. So it's been a few more minutes. Let's go ahead and check on everything. I have a feeling everything might be done, so let's check it out. So I really just wanted to show you guys the meat real quick because I forgot to turn the camera on when I was pulling off the steaks. That's my fault, but everything looks really good. These temped out about 130, which is exactly what we wanted, and the lobsters temped out at 145, which is perfect. We got those lemons nice and charred. We'll squeeze it on the lobster here in a minute to go ahead and eat, but let's go inside. Let's try this out. Okay, so overall took about an hour to make this steak and lobster dinner, surf and turf for Father's Day. Looks so good, smells so good. Come on in a little bit closer. I want to show you this steak. I want to show you this lobster. We're going to slice into it, and then, of course, you know I got to try it. Grilled some of those lemons. Let's get it all over that delicious looking lobster. Oh, man. Yes, sir. And now, let's go ahead and slice this T-bone up. So you see there's a bone right here. Let's try and get right on the other side of it and get this strip out of here. Medium all the way through. All right, so right in the middle of the money shot, my son actually started screaming, would not stop yelling. So we had to put him in the other room for just a second. I apologize. I know that you wanted a better money shot. I'll get one with the other steak, but I already started cutting into this, so let's go ahead and keep going with it, try it out, and then we'll talk about it. So I already cut off the strip. You can see I started cutting. Look at that piece right there. Looks delicious, cooked perfectly. Here's another slice. Everything is looking perfect on this steak. I love the way it got cooked. You can see it's medium rare all the way through edge to edge. And that's what you like to see. That's what you get with a reverse sear. So of course, now it's time to try it. That's a 10 out of 10, 100% of the time. I mean, I've heard so many people say, you can't cook a steak on a pellet grill. Look at this. I just did it. It turned out so good. Now, I would be lying to you if I said I didn't like a little more char on it. I prefer sometimes to cook on my Weber kettle. Really hot, straight over charcoal. Get that nice crust. That's really good too. But this is amazing. Any father out there, they're going to love this 100%. I promise, I guarantee it. So now let's go ahead and try a little bit of this lobster, and then we'll get some nice footage of us cutting the other steak up since we unfortunately had to stop on this one. But anyway, let's keep going. So now let's try this lobster tail. Amazing. If you've never had lobster, it does have a shrimpy texture. It's a little bit sweeter, but man, that's really, really good with that lemon on there, with that butter. Gives it an amazing flavor. You can't beat that. This is a surf and turf for the ages. Again, go ahead and try this. You can use any grill to do that reverse sear method. Cook it for somebody you love. Cook it for a father, husband, boyfriend, whoever. They will love this meal 100% of the time. You guys can always go to GulfCoastSmoke.com if you're interested in any of our new hats and any of our new shirts. We're almost sold out of our black ones, so you're running out of time to pick one of those up. Head there now, use code GCS, and you'll get free shipping. I always appreciate you guys tuning into this video. We're inching closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to be putting out videos all year long. We are going to start trying to do 2 videos a week. If there's anything you guys want me to cook, leave it in the comments below. Thanks again for everything, and as always, I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.